All right, welcome back, guys. Hopefully you're all doing well, staying healthy, and enjoying some math. Today we're going to be doing some more factoring. The past couple days we've been factoring difference with perfect squares, but today we're going to roll back to factoring trinomials. This time with a little bit of a twist, we're going to talk about some trinomials that have a coefficient that is not equal to 1. But to start, let's just do a little review of our trinomials that we did a couple days ago. So when we saw trinomials like this, x squared minus 2x minus 8, we went to factor it. We first looked for a greatest common factor. We obviously don't have a greatest common factor here. So I showed you how to do this x method that we do off to the side, where you put the last number in the top, you put your middle coefficient down in the bottom, and you're looking for two numbers that multiply to -8 and add to -2. In this case, we're talking the numbers -4 and +2. So we got that answer of x minus 4, x plus 2. Now, hopefully, you are checking your answers. So to check this, we multiply this out. And you're going to get x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8. And when I combine like terms, that's x squared minus 2x minus 8, which you'll notice is the same as what we started with. If you don't like the double distributive, remember you can use the box method to multiply those out. Now, the checking is very important because with the problems that you're going to see today, you're going to notice that if you didn't check, you wouldn't necessarily know that you did them wrong. So let's take a look at a different type of example today. Something that looks like this: 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. Now, you may be inclined to treat this just like you would any other trinomial. So, like the last one, you probably want to use the x method and try and think of two numbers that multiply to give you -3 and add to give you +4. You're probably going to look at this for a little while, and you might try and think of some numbers like -3 and +1, but they're not going to add up to 4. So you're going to think that this is not something that you can factor. But we actually can do something with it. We just have to use a different method. That method is what I refer to as slip and slide. I've heard other teachers use what they call the arc. It's really the same thing. I think slip and slide sounds a little bit funner, or I should say more fun. And I enjoy using it a little more. So the way that slip and slide works is we're going to take our 4, that's our coefficient, and we're going to multiply it by this last number here. So that's going to leave us with x squared plus 4x minus 12. Now, once you've done that, we've slipped that 4 over to here, we do have a trinomial just like we did before. So I can go off to the side. I'm going to use the left side this time just to give me some more room. And I'm going to try and think of two numbers that multiply to -12 and add to +4, which we should be able to do without a ton of effort. We're going to get 6 and -2. And so this is going to become x plus 6, x minus 2. Now, unfortunately, we can't stop there. All we've done of our slip and slide is we've done the slip portion. And if we were to multiply this out, we are not going to get back to 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. So what we need to do now is we need to take this 4 that we initially slipped over to the 12, and we're going to slide it back in. And that means we're going to divide each of these answers by 4, because that's what we multiplied by. So if I reduce this, essentially what we have is we have x plus 3/2, and we have x minus 1/2. Now, if you look, if we try to multiply this out, we are still not going to get back here. So what we do now is we take our denominator and we're just going to move it to be our coefficient of our x. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to have 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. Now, if I multiply that back out, I should get back to this original answer. To save some time here, I'm not going to do that in this video, but you can definitely check my work if you want. So we slip the 4 over, and then we slide it back in. Let's do one more example here together before I leave you to do some practice problems on your own. So another example here, 12x squared minus 2x minus 2. Now, we should still be looking for a GCF. And in this case, we do actually have a greatest common factor. Our greatest common factor here is going to be a 2. So I'm going to take a 2 out and be left with 6x squared minus 1x minus 1. So I take it out, and now I'm left with a trinomial. I'm going to see if I can factor that trinomial. Because my coefficient is bigger than 1, or I should say not equal to 1, this is going to lead me to using what I call the slip and slide method. So we're just going to leave this 2 sort of out here for a while. It's just going to sort of come along for the ride here. But we're going to slip our 6 to our negative 1 and make this x squared minus 1x minus 6. Now off to the side, we're going to do our x method. We're going to look for 2 numbers that multiply to negative 6 and at the same time add to negative 1. That would be negative 3 and positive 2. So I still just keep this 2 out here lingering around for the ride. We've got x minus 3, x plus 2. Now we're going to slide this 6 back in. So I'm going to divide this by 6, and I'm going to divide this by 6. So first, just treat these as fractions and let's reduce them. That's going to leave me with 2 times x minus 1/2 times x plus 1/3. All I did here was reduce those fractions. Now I'm going to slide the 2 in front of the x and the 3 in front of the x. So my final answer here is going to be 2 times 2x minus 1, 3x plus 1. That is how we're going to do our slip and slide. Now, this is a pretty difficult concept, and it's probably going to take us a lot of practice. So I'm definitely not expecting you guys are going to have this all after just seeing 2 examples here. But try the examples that I give you, and tomorrow I will probably just do a few more examples here with you guys, hopefully get you in the right direction. All right, let me know how it's going. Shoot me some messages, and I'll be sure to help you out. Take care.